Once three sisters singing sweet harmony. Now two are here, still planting good seed. Jackie and Gail, yeah, they're walking in light, sharing their stories, keeping hearts bright, talking about life and faith and real love, sending out hope from the one above. When they speak, you can feel what's true, 'cause they've lived it all, and they'll walk with you. Jackie and Gail, just love, just real. Two voices of grace that help you heal.
Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to Raw, Restoring Awesome Warriors. I'm your host, Jackie H. And of course, I'm sitting here by myself tonight because my co host, Gail Barron, the judge, is out in the middle of the ocean. She's on another vacation. Okay. Um, she's on a cruise. So there you have it. But we're going to carry on and hopefully that you'll get something out of what I want to share tonight. I'm hoping everyone had a good day. My day was great. It was hot outside. Um, I had to go today to get a real license, a real ID. I didn't know from the last time I went on the airplane. Well, of course, I let my passport um, expire, and the license I had, which was a good, but I didn't know you had to have the one that was real to fly. So I learned that fast. So that's what I took care of today. Went and got me the real ID. And there's only one place they say that's in Philadelphia that you can get it the same day. So that was in South Philly. So I got that done today. So hoping everyone is doing well. And we're going to get to our subject tonight, our topic tonight, just for a little while. I wanted to talk with you and share. We can all share, and I learn from sharing and discussing with others. You get more out of something than doing it by yourself sometimes. So I titled this, I'm Wired Different. There is no comparison or competition in this matter. And I was talking to some young people this week on this topic, and this is why I want to further it tonight, just to share a little bit of the conversation that we was having. So our conversation was based off of everyone is different, and you feeling comfortable and okay in your difference. And what I mean by that is sometimes because you don't do it like someone else, or there's a way you do it, a way they do it, and it's not the same, you feel, some people feel like they have to do it like other people do it. Like if so and so do it like this, well, maybe I should do it like that. Like you don't have no uniqueness about yourself, or you feel like something is wrong with you, that you're not normal. You'd be surprised how many people feel that because they don't have the same way, don't do things the same ways that someone else does it, or I'm a little slow at this, or someone else can catch on to it faster, and I'm having a hard time. And sometimes you can be down hard on yourself over it. So I want to talk a little bit tonight about celebrating your difference, celebrating the way that you are wired. When you have done all you can, and maybe you're just not like the next person, maybe we should be okay, or see if that's just a way God made us to be. Maybe there's nothing wrong with being different. Maybe you're just not wired to do it like the other person. But if you don't have no self, like if you don't value yourself, or if you don't feel good about yourself, everything somebody else does or how they do it, we can want to copycat, we can want to be like someone else. And maybe just the way you are is just unique. Maybe it is normal. Maybe God made you that way so you can just be different. But sometimes we want to copycat and be like someone else, and we can really go into some type of depression sometimes over it, or feel less than, uh, maybe is not sure about ourselves. But let's talk about it just a little bit tonight. I want to go into it just a little bit tonight of what I got out of what I feel about being wired different. And I don't have to compare or compete with someone else. When you are okay with yourself, when you have confidence in who you are, then there's no reason to compete. Um, I'm raised with, come up with 6 siblings. I'm going to talk about my family. Um, they didn't tell me to talk about them, but I think they'd be okay with me making some illustrations of what I'm trying to get over and help someone else with tonight. My father and mother had 6 children, 6 of us. And these 6 that you see here, we all have the same mother and the same father. We do have similarities. We do have the same blood, DNA running in all 6 of us. But believe it or not, we are all different. Yes, we came from the same 2 parents. There are some days that someone would say to me, "You look just like your dad." Another day, someone would say to me, "Boy, today you really looking like your mother." And they would say that to each of us sometimes. Depends on what day or how what's going on, how we look that day, that we would get labeled as the children of Thomas Wright and Leslie Wright because their DNA and we have traits and we have likeness of them, but we're still different. We are told that no fingerprints are the same, but we came from the same family, but we're different. And sometimes when you don't celebrate your different or you don't understand what the difference is, it can cause you, some people, to feel a little abnormal when it's all the way normal. Just because we're different doesn't mean that I'm not normal. It's just we're different. We are wired different. Coming up in school in our household, um, I had, and I mentioned this on a lot of my podcasts because I'm not ashamed to talk about it because it is what it is. And you have to be okay with who you are, and you might have to do things just a little bit different. I wasn't a school person. I for books in school, that wasn't me. Now, I love math. I love different things about school, but I just wasn't into school like my sister Gail, my brother Derek. You know, they was into school. Now, let me tell you why I wasn't into school. It wasn't that I didn't want to learn. I knew from an early age that I had a comprehension problem. And what I mean by that, say if I was reading, you know how we had to write a book report, we read a book. I would read the book and I would understand what I read. I would get something out of what I read, but don't ask me to write a book report. It's it's going to get tricky, but I'm trying to tell you sometimes the way you're wired, if you don't know that or have someone to help you along in that, you really think something is wrong with you. I loved math. Math was my favorite subject, but you couldn't give me math in a sentence form. And what I mean, if you say what's 5 times 5, I can tell you 25. If you say 3 divided by 24, I can tell you 8. I can count, I can do all that. But once you said Johnny had 3 apples, he gave away 3, and someone else gave him 10. And as long as the sentence went on, I was lost. It's still math, but the way that it was given to me, I couldn't comprehend it. And it took me a while because I was frustrated. There were some people was getting it like that, and others were doing. I wasn't wired like that, so it left me not wanting to be in the class. It left me not liking math. It left me being quiet. So I remember trying to explain to my mother, probably was in junior high school. I kept on telling her there's something wrong. I couldn't explain it because I knew I loved school. I loved math, but I couldn't get it. It was the same way with me about music. I couldn't get it. I can play a lot of instruments, but don't give me a paper to say here's the notes. I tried to read the music. Something didn't click. I went into the military and couldn't get on the band because of I couldn't read the music. But if you gave me the song, I can practice, I can play it. We're talking about being wired different. And then when you have these disabilities, or you at the time didn't know that it was something wrong, but I knew it was something wrong. But my mother didn't want to accept it. She kept saying, "Oh, you're all right. Don't claim that." So I'm begging parents or people or that's in charge, guardians and stuff. If you see a child or someone just struggling, it doesn't necessarily always mean that they don't want to do the work or they just don't want to study. Sometimes take it a little further and see, is there really a problem? Maybe they're wired different. Now, in driving, my dad, when I got 16 years old, I was determined to get my license. And because that was at that age, that's what we wanted to do, right? Everywhere he went, I can take him back to that same place. I knew how to follow. I can copy. If I saw you do it, if you trained me how to do it, I can do it. If he had me the map and say, go here, I'm done. We're talking about being wired different. Maybe my way of learning is just on the job training. Maybe it can be just that is how I am wired to study. That's how I'm wired to learn. Whatever that is, if you don't know that or don't accept that, you'll always be feeling left out or um, be made fun of. I'm talking tonight about my experience because I didn't have language for it. I didn't I wasn't able to articulate what was going on in me, but I knew there was a problem. And sometimes, even when I was in church a long time, I knew that if I sat for a long time, I get antsy, like I had to do something. It was like a period where, like the day we laugh about the day in church, place we go, you have your iPad, you got your phones and so. Well, back then when I was coming, there was nothing. You sat in front of your mother, you're gonna be quiet for 2 hours and you're gonna sit there. Even in school they had recess, but not in our church. We didn't have no recess. You sit there for 2 hours, whatever that was, and you're gonna put and if you start talking or doing something, they got fans and belts and stuff, reaching over to us. But I knew that I couldn't sit long. Even in riding in a car. After about an hour or so, I have to stop to get out. Some people call it motion sick, whatever. But I'm wired different. Do you know how you are wired? Do you understand that everyone is not alike? But it doesn't mean that you're not normal. You know, you don't have to feel bad about it. Sometimes just talking about it and somebody hearing you to say, maybe we can do it this way. Maybe you can learn this way. Maybe we can do this for you, or whatever that is, to cause people to not feel like they have to be compared or always competing with someone and feeling bad about how they are wired. So, going back to my family, these are my sisters. That's my mom. That's a cousin back there, if we want to say. At times, people say, "Oh, y'all all look alike." There's times that we almost the same height, even though I'm taller. Yeah, we all the same height, but we're different and we are wired different. My sister Gail is outgoing. She just go get it, whatever it is. She's no fear. When we was coming up, first, especially when it's about school or learning, couldn't. My sister Darlene, she was just bubbly, happily. I don't know what she did in class. I'm being honest right now because I'm trying to tell you how people can make you feel different, and you are different, but it doesn't mean that you're incapable of learning or doing something different, doing it your way. But someone have to understand how you're wired to help you. Me, I love sports. I could play all day. Long as I was busy, I was active. Well, when you made me sit down, that's when I had a problem. It was different. How are your children wired? How are your husband wired? How are your wife wired? How's your co-workers? How do you learn? How do you even function? Do you know what makes you who you are? Or you're trying to compare yourself with someone else? Or you're trying to be like someone else? Or have people always have compared you to, well, you're not like your brother, you're not like your sister. Why you do? Well, I can't tell you, really can't tell you why. I'm just letting you know I am different. And even though I would love to do what they do, I just can't. This is how I do it. I learned in my family that I'm going to use my children. I'm just going to show you how difference. Now, I showed you a picture of my siblings. I'm I'm I'm, I'm going to take my time just so I can get this how I feel it and what I see and try to help someone. Going back to our picture, this is my brothers and sisters. Now, all of us are dark skinned, brown skin, dark skinned people. We came from the same family. My father and mother, I just showed you them. They're dark complexion too. Now, I want to show you a picture of my niece and nephew. This is my niece and nephew, and this is my baby sister children. I just told you we was all dark complexion. Her daughter is her complexion, right? Her son, who come from her body, but he's lighter skin. He's more like his dad, but he came from her. You can have two people have children and they can come out different in skin tone and in your mind. So if you're trying to compete or be like someone, you don't know how you're going to turn out. You don't know. She has a light skinned son, and she has a dark complexion daughter. They came from her body, but they are different because that's the nature of the game. So even in dealing with those two, their minds are different. They are wired different. My niece, you can train her, and she's on the job training person like myself, can do anything. Don't even read a book. Just put it together. My nephew, he's book. He's wired different. Both of them have the skills and the knowledge to make it. But if she try to compare herself with him and he try to compare himself to her, that's where people start making you feel less than or I'm competing. No, no, no. Accept who you are. Accept who you are. I'm just different. But I'm not at normal. I just can't do it like that. I took care of my dad for the last 3 years of his life. And being in the hospital and having nurses and stuff come to our home, there was a lot of things I learned by watching. I watched them. And one nurse asked me, she said, "Why didn't you take this up? Why didn't you go to school for this? You're good at what you're doing." I didn't say anything because I knew school wasn't for me. I would have been a failure. I'm just being honest. I would have been a failure as something that I can learn. If you have an on the job program that can get me my nursing degree or whatever, I would have been okay. But if you were gonna sit me in the classroom to do the same thing, I wasn't wired that way. But I did the job. There's a lot of jobs that people are doing today on the job training. Got the mind for just wired different. Are you okay with being different? Or are you competing and comparing to others because you can't do it the same way? You have to be okay with who you are. You really have to be okay. And it doesn't mean that you don't know. It doesn't mean that you're less than. I'm saying it because I had to talk to some young girls this week and trying to be like others and can't do it like this and downplaying and down in their self. You gotta encourage yourself. Speak into someone's life to make them see that God made you uniquely and you're wonderfully and beautifully made. He created you in His image, and that should be good enough. But you have to believe it. Other people may not celebrate you. They might think that you need this and that, and you start feeling bad about yourself and trying to do something different. But encourage yourself. Tell someone, I'm just wired different. I can't preach like you. I can't teach like you. I mean, I can't sing like you. I can't play the music like you. But what I can do, I'm giving you my all. And I'm going to do my best. And maybe they'll come up with something that can help me to do even better. But they have YouTube. You can Google things now. You can just, that's how I cook. I can't. My mother never measured anything. She was a great cook. I never seen her measure not one thing. She just eyeballed it. Like she knew how much milk to put in something. Like how you do that? And I tried to imitate that. I couldn't get it. So I had to go on YouTube to learn what to do. Some things I learned that she did, and some things I had to do it my way. We are all wired different. And be okay. Be okay. Be okay with how you're wired. When you start competing, when you start doing things that is not you, that's where you mess up. You have your own niche. Believe it or not, you have your own niche. You might not understand that. It took me a while to understand that. I got it now and I'm okay. But it took me a long while to be okay with the way God made me. Are you okay today of who you are? Do you know your niche? Do you know how special you are with the way you're doing it? Or are you always competing? And you have people, let me say this, Chris, because I was the victim of bullying. Yeah, yeah. People don't know how that feel when you get bullied and when you get put down because you can't do it like the rest. I'm saying to those who always making comparison to people and making them feeling less than. I'm saying maybe you should consider and reconsider how you make someone feel when you do that. That's a lonely place to be when you're doing the best you can and someone rejects you because you don't do it like them. And they might not know that you're doing the best that you can. And this is all I have. And you make them feel low and you make them feel like they're worthless. Consider someone's feelings when you do that. Some people have children. I was raised with cousins and stuff, and I seen things of comparing their children. So and so they going off. They can do this and do that, and you made the other one feel like they're nothing. You might not have meant it. Maybe it was just what you felt, but consider what that person or what someone feel when you do that, and they really have a problem that they can't. They really not school material. They really can't study like this. Thank God for I'm telling you how I learned the word of God in the Bible. If it wasn't for those cassette tapes that that man on there read that whole Bible, my dad brought the whole set of tapes. Back there was cassettes. Now you can just download or whatever. But back there, that's how I learned the word of God. After going to church all my life. And we had the King James version. And I'm saying it like this so someone can get what I'm saying tonight. My parents, my dad didn't finish the fifth grade. He went as far as the fifth grade and had to work. My mom graduated from 12th grade, but she wasn't no scholar at that King James version. So most of the time we were spoon fed and they told us what they thought it meant, right? So I used to go to my mom Bible class where there was a bunch of seniors because I worked at night. So I tried to catch the Bible class during the day to going back home to go to bed because I had to work at night. That was interesting. I didn't know, and they didn't know. And what I mean, most of them was sitting there, didn't even had a third grade or fifth grade education. And to try to read the King James version, we didn't have like they have now. They got the easy version, they got the NLT, they got the BLT, whatever you want. You can find it in any language that break it down. The Amplified Bible that would break it down to a kindergarten can understand. I didn't have that coming up. And so was other books and stuff. We had encyclopedias in our home. The red books. You gave me that book? Like what? This is not a joke. I'm really serious. I couldn't read that book, and neither could my mom. But that's what we had. So I learned then, Jackie, you're wired different. Something else got to go. Something else I had to learn another way. But it took me all these years to come to that understanding that maybe some people just didn't know that I had a learning disability. Maybe you don't know people are struggling and they're feeling bad because now they're comparing what you do to them, whatever that is. So let's 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 get a hold to this tonight from me to you. Just sharing. Everybody is not the same. Everybody don't learn the same. Everybody don't walk the same. And you can be from the same family and not the same. My middle brother, he went to college. My younger brother, who's a genius, was in the army and can do anything in the medical field. My older brother can do hands-on like no, electrician. But everybody's wired different. My sister Gail can almost teach me anything as far as books. I'm just being honest. She has that niche. I can show you how by on the job. Whatever you're gonna get from me is gonna be training. We're gonna do it. This how you do this, and I'm gonna show you. Darlene can follow and laugh a lot. That's that's who we are. Do it make us not human? Do it make us one better than the other? No, no. Help each other. Where you have this strength, I put my strength with your strength, and we can make it. That's in any relationship, anything you're doing. Find what your strength is and find what your weaknesses are, whatever that is, and you be honest about it and be okay. Be the point I want to make tonight. Just be okay and encourage yourself, and don't let someone else make you feel lower and less than. Hold your head up. I tell people, man, I can't do that, and I'm proud to say it. I don't have no more embarrassment. As people see me playing instruments, and you'd be surprised what they say to me. Come on, could you help me out? And only thing I can say, I don't think you want me. I can't do it. What you see me doing, it took me every bit of practice and praying that you would stick with that same song that I just practiced. That's the only thing I do is be honest. But if you give me the songs or whatever we want to practice and you stick to that, then you got a musician. And I'm okay with that. I can't this I'm giving you the best I got. And I'm okay with the way I'm wired. I knew this from an early age, but my mother didn't want to accept it. So I had to struggle. And I'm saying to the parents, the leaders, guardians, and if someone tell you they are struggling and they having a problem, check it out. Don't just dismiss it. Don't you call someone a hard time in life because you don't want to accept it, but they told you their truth. So that's what I wanted to share tonight. I'm wired different. I am, and I'm okay. Are you okay with the way you're wired? Are you okay with the way you have to do it and learn? But we're gonna get it done. And do y'all see some of these furniture and stuff now that come in a box and you got to put it together? Now they're labeling it A, B, C. Somebody must have thought about maybe everybody can't read instructions. Maybe if you just say put A with B, C with D, and then put F up top and maybe somebody thought about somebody is wired different and they needed that instruction because that's what helped me. I actually put together one of my nephew bunk beds. Me and my cousin. I'm not even going to tell you how long we worked on that bed. What should have been done in probably an hour or two. We made a whole night of it and we laughed about it. You know why? Because both of us realized we was wired different and couldn't read them instructions. We had to take a turkey apart around about 4 or 5 times to get it back, put it back together. He's a good worker. I'm a good follower, but neither one of us can read the instruction. Being honest about your situation helps. And if I'm going to be honest to you, I'm asking you, please accept me and hear what I'm saying. Help me to help myself. I'm not trying to be lazy. I'm not, there's a lot of people who's not trying to get out of work, not trying to, sometimes they just wired different. And it takes someone like you, and you to help us. I can be your hands and you just be my eyes. I can be your legs and you just be my mind. Think for me. Think, tell me what to do. Sometimes that's how people feel, make it on the backs of others. I had nothing to do with how I was born. I had nothing to do with my DNA. I had nothing to do with none of that. I didn't know that I was going to have a comprehension problem. I mean that's but I knew it early. I knew it early. And maybe I had to go through it so I could talk about it today because my mother was a woman of God. She believed in prayer. She believed in, that's how I was brought up. So whatever you had that was wrong or disability, whatever the issue was, she believed in praying and going to God on your behalf. And we needed that too. I thank God for her. But she didn't allow me to be okay. If I hope I'm making sense. She prayed for me, but sometimes in prayer, you need to go see a specialist. You might need to go get help. It doesn't mean God didn't help you. He might have someone that could have done it a better way because I suffered from it for it because of her belief. Her belief was we're gonna take it to God, which you could have just took me to somewhere, I mean, tutor, whatever. So be open to how God work. Maybe it's not just God gonna do a miracle. Maybe he'll send someone by. Maybe he have someone over here. You never know how God works. He can't put them in a box. In the military, he sent me helpers. I wasn't afraid to sign up and go in. I went in knowing that I had a disability. I went in knowing that it's going to be a struggle. I went in knowing that I probably had to do more than the next person. I was okay with that. But what made it easy in the military because I was able to get someone who understood and took that and gave me better way, showed me a better way to work it. And you can make it. You can make it in this world. You can make it. You can do anything you want to do. You might have to try a little harder than the next person. That's okay. I remember there's a pastor here in Philadelphia, Pastor James Scott. Many of you know him, of a, a brilliant young man. Yes, he's younger than me. And that's another thing. Don't have picks and choose of who you want to help you. You never know who God have standing by to help you. Some people like if this a come in a child form, if it come in someone that you don't really trust or believe in because of whatever that reason, that might be your answer. That might be the very one that's going to help you. And I remember um, telling him my shortcomings. And he said, "We're not going. Okay, I hear you. We're gonna work with it. You got a shortcoming, but we're not gonna stay there. You need someone to pull you out of whatever that situation that you're in. Surround yourself with someone that say, I hear you. I got your back. Let's go. Mothers, fathers, teachers, uh, sponsors, coaches, whatever. Listen, listen, because people will tell you what the most people will tell you what their problems are. I I I I learned to listen, hear the cry of a person that's telling you, I'm not lazy. I just have a problem. Could you help me? That's all they're saying. All right. So I'm not going to stay here long. I just wanted to share that tonight with I'm wired different. I'm not in a competition with you. I'm not comparing myself. I'm not I can't do that because it would bring me to another level because I can't. So you don't have to compete with me. We don't have to, some people jealous. How you jealous of somebody that can't do half of the stuff you're doing? Like, what are you jealous about? You'd be surprised how much people pay attention to all your mistakes, knowing that you can't do something and jealous of you. I'm like, are you serious right now? Yeah, they don't know. Sometimes they think you like. Do you really believe that I don't have no struggles? You mad at me because no, no, no. Put yourself in somebody's shoes or just walk a mile in their shoes to know where they at. No need for jealousy, no need to compare. It's no need for none of that. Come on, let's help each other out. Trust somebody, and then those of you who know how and you can do it better, grab somebody up and say, let me help you. You see somebody struggling, and before you label what the struggle is, maybe ask them. Maybe be surprised that they're not drunk, they're not lazy, they just don't want to serve God. I mean, this stuff I heard all my life. You just want to be disobedient, but they don't know I was having a hard time sitting in church. I was having a hard time not doing this and that. Like, okay, I was bored. And I'm bored at my own stuff. So it's not like, how my dad used to say, well, if it's something that you want to do, you do it. Well, he don't know. There was a lot of things I want to do. I didn't do that either. So that's not always the case. Sometimes we just say stuff, and, it sounds good, but be careful how you hurt people. And you might mean well, but it might damage somebody for a while because you just thought that's, you know, you just want to do your own thing. No, I didn't. Maybe somebody else probably wanted to do their own thing, but that was not, I didn't just want to do my own thing. I did what was comfortable. And since nobody wouldn't listen, I wound up doing my own thing because it was okay to do. At that point, if nobody listening, just go ahead and do what you want to do. So just be mindful of you trying to be like someone else. Do it the way you can. All right. I see I got my niece here, Nisi. Thank you for stopping by. Um, I don't know if you want to add anything to what I'm talking about tonight. Uh, Sometimes you have to. You hear me,
I
niece?
know I've been recently. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was just having a conversation a while ago with my children. Um, they share different talents and gifts, and one was asking me like, "Hey, do I sound like that or act like that, or what's my differences?" And even in children, sometimes it's important to let them know like y'all don't have to have the same talents to be gifted.
Yes.
So I think it's very important, like you said, to find your own uniqueness and be happy with everybody is created different. So
Yes.
everybody is needed. So even in your uniqueness and that differences, like you might think is weird or whatever the case may be, all of it's needed. Everybody is needed.
Yes. I totally agree with that. And that's why I'm so adamant about it to let others know that it can be damaging when you do that to a person and compare them and they start feeling low about themselves. And I wore that for many years of trying to compare. Why can't I learn this way? Why can't I do it this way? And it took me, yeah, fully grown to say I accept me. I had to encourage myself and surround myself with people of like minds that understood that. I want to do better, but I can't. So, and somebody would take you and show you how to do it a way that would be beneficial to you and make you feel good about yourself. Because anything you do, you want to feel good about it yourself. So when you're not feeling good about what you do, then you don't give 100%. You don't do your best because you're doubting everything you do because you know you're different. So thank you for saying that and sharing with your children because children are sponges and at the young age you can be damaged. And I say this from experience.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Thank you. So I'm not going to hold long. I just hope that even if you replay this, anybody who's watching and you look back over this, that we have said something that will help you with your uniqueness, with your niche. Um, Even if you're from the same biological family, everybody probably have the same DNA. Just realize that you're different, that you're wired different. No fingerprints are the same. Your mind don't even think the same. Could you imagine if everybody on the earth was alike? Just picture that for a moment. If every one of us was all the same, that would be very interesting. You won't have no differences. You won't have anything. I can't even picture that. I don't know how that would even look. But God made us all different. And some of the differences are you might have a disability. I'm saying you might can't do no better than what you're doing. And that's okay. That's okay. Do what you do and do the best. I I think two people in my life, celebrities that I followed years ago that was very instrumental. That was very instrumental in my walk was. Do you remember Rodney Peete? He was the football quarterback for the Eagles at one time, and his wife Holly Peete, she's a movie actress, and they have a son that is has autism, and they have I think 5 kids or 4 kids, and RJ is autistic, and that story really listen studying their lives really helped me to understand the power of someone who supports you. She didn't make him feel no less than her other children. She sought out all she could to make his life normal, even though he wasn't normal. But how she did it, she made him feel normal, and she made the other siblings feel like he just had some differences. They knew that he was artistic, but they treated him no different than the rest. He had the same amount of love, he had the same amount of respect and he succeeded. There's another story. It was Tony Braxton, her son, who now has graduated from college. He was artistic. What I'm saying to you, it doesn't matter what your problem is. God is able, and there is a lot of help out here for you to make it. You just have to believe in yourself And if you don't believe in yourself yet, surround yourself with someone who have your best interest at heart. And that's, you can make it. Those children made it and is successful in life because somebody understood the assignment. So never sell yourself short. I'm encouraging every boy, girl, man, and woman, no matter what it is, face it head on. Those of you who have things that maybe just a little bit different than others, seek out help. God works through people, God works through systems. You can't keep on saying you praying to God and don't do anything. God is not in a box. He's wide. He gave man creativity to create all these things for even the heart, the mind. We know God is the author of it. He's the top doctor, but he got people in place that can help you. So I need you. Hey Nate, how you doing? That's a friend of mine's, Nate. We on here. I don't know if you heard what I was talking about tonight, but this we was talking about being wired different, not comparing and competing with others because we all different. And this gentleman here has helped me um, with my difference of getting me. He works for the military, the VA, and he s- took my PSTD and all the things that I went through in the military and helped me to get my benefits. And what I'm saying, you're going to have to lean on someone and count on someone, but it was all God. So we can't just pray and just do nothing. I still had to go down there and fill out the paperwork, right, Nate? I had to. You don't sound. I had to go down
Yes.
there and fill out the paper. I had to go down there and fill out the paperwork. I had to go down there and state what was going on. I got hurt in the military. I had to claim all of that, but it didn't get done until I got up and went down there where he was. God has someone waiting, but you have to you have to do your part. And Nate, you don't know, but you really helped me in my life
Mm.
with no. And I'm saying that because there are some people who do their job, and then there are some people who do their job with care and understanding and walk. You walked me through it. You didn't just do your job,
Mm.
but you told me every step of the way how to get it done. And I followed what you told me to do and got it done. If I never said, I know I always told you thank you, but I want to publicly say thank you
You're
because
welcome.
there's some people that sitting in places that don't understand your struggle. And I was just telling my nieces on the line too. I was just telling them that I had a comprehension problem of reading, like all that paperwork that I had to fill out and
Mm.
stuff. And if people don't know that you struggle with things, they just call you lazy. Oh, you just don't feel like because it's just a lot of paperwork. You don't feel like filling it out. I have had a whole lot of things said to me, but people didn't know when I saw a pack of paper like this, I was already checked out. It wasn't because I didn't want to. It was reading the questions. It was stuff it was taxing.
It caused
But
a lot of people anxiety.
yes, sir. So I've already was going through for anxiety that I had off the ship. Now I got a pack of paper because I'm getting ready to fill out for disability. Now I got to go through more anxiety because it's stress on top of stress.
Yeah.
But if someone don't understand your walk and your life, the help can hurt you. So I don't know if I'm not going to be on here that long, but I don't know if you can speak to what you do and what you find um, when people are struggling with a disability or whatever that is.
Mhm.
What what could you recommend that we as helpers or people, mothers, fathers, uh, pastors, social worker, what advice would you give that you did that can help someone who is struggling with who can't read? Maybe they can't read the packet that you just passed them out to fill out. What are some of the things that you can just
When I'm assistant, I'm Nate Porter. My background, I'm a Navy veteran. I fixed F-14 Tomcat aircrafts, and then I went into the Air Force Reserve, Air National Guards, and then I worked at the Veterans Administration, and I advocated for the veterans against the VA. So I had to learn everyone's job in order to help and assist everyone. And what I basically do is educate everyone on the process. So I try to make it less anxiety and stuff is less painful than going to the doctor. And you get when you put things in order, as long as we know the rules and what they expect, we abide by the rules and things fall into place, regardless of who's going to be the gatekeeper or who's going to let you pass. But long as you get somebody to put it in black and white, and then it makes the foundation for other things to build upon. But everyone has to take that first step.
that's
Yeah, I also assist widows of veterans and disabled children of veterans, not just the veteran.
wow. Well, do you ever find people come in that really don't want to be honest about their getting the help or ashamed or because I don't know, mine was because I told you mine because I couldn't comprehend the paperwork. Like it was so much paperwork, I was just trying to figure it out. It wasn't that I didn't want to help, but do you find people, do they talk to you and tell you what they need to help in so you'll know how to best help them and serve them?
Certain topics I ask them to tell a professional because I don't want them to have to keep repeating the story. And when we leave the military, it's not like you got a switch to turn off. Now you're a civilian. Now you're in the military, off and on.
Mm.
Your military life stays with you until your last day, till you
Mhm.
expire. And then
Okay.
when you hear a song, a smell, or a phrase, or anything, it can take you back to that time while you were in the military. You got they call it trigger points. And so what I at least try to do is tell the person, okay, I need you to say, don't tell me the story, tell the professional the process. Even if they have to write some things down so they wouldn't forget for us to explain what's going on. But it's important to at least start to at least start the process. That's very important because you can be um, compensated tax free, for the
Okay.
rest of your days. And it opens door for other benefits. You may need house adaptation. People may need ramps. They may need the showers redone and everything, or prosthetics for vehicles and stuff like that. So they have a lot of home tax exemption for the homes, education
Okay.
for the kids and stuff. But
Mm.
I think what I ran into a lot was that even when I was in you do face some racism, and it sort of make you angry that they let it go and they let it exist when it shouldn't be there. And
Okay.
then people tend to gotta explain it to a physician, and then you thinking, well, when I happen on active duty, this person's with that person, and people tend to give up. And I always tell everyone Do not give up. Do not give up. We're gonna keep fighting. Come on. We gotta go. We gotta take care of this. Come on, come on. They
Mm,
want you to give up, they want you to quit, but it's
mm.
important to keep trying. Some people have a
So,
language barrier, some people have different background barriers or whatever, but it shouldn't it shouldn't stop them for at least trying.
so let me ask you this on 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 our subject of wired being wired. I'm wired different. So there's a lot of things that happen to people in the military.
Yes,
So even if they was, I'm just going to use the term, no pun intended. Even if we was normal going in and things happen to us in during the service, so coming out, we are changed people.
correct.
We are changed people. So we're no longer wired the same now. When
Exactly.
when I when I went in, I was one way, and now when I come out, something has happened. Now I'm different. Do you find people feel low self-esteem and stuff because I went in healthy, I went in this way. Now I'm my leg is off, but this has happened. So they start feeling people compare them to something else. People have lost relationships over because you come back another way, and I can't deal with who you are now. Do you speak to that too, or is that another department of dealing with the mind of I'm changed now? How do I even make it? How do I switch from being normal? Now I'm completely changed, but I'm still the same person.
Yeah, so that
But you're treating me different.
yes. I experienced that myself. Um Prior to the military, I was a musician. I played in Europe. I've played Mama's parades. I played Phillies games and different things. So I joined the military, thinking I'm still going to be a musician. They said no, and then no one would hear me play. And then, but my job was working on the fighter jets, and my hearing is not the same. I can't hear. And
Right.
then
Okay.
so me going through a depression, and it takes a long time. Anyone come out from what they experience, it takes a long time to far as acceptance, healing, the whole process. Even people may experience different employments. People experience a lot of different even relationships or isolation, medication, or some people don't know to ask for help that they think they're same, but everyone around them say, no, something's different. You changed.
Mhm.
You know?
Wow. So I'm trying to encourage people tonight that just because I'm different or wired different, I'm still human, and it's not a good feeling to be compared. I'm not in competition. You're not like this one. No, something has happened to me, or life has presented this to me, but I'm still want to be loved. I still want to live life. So thank you for sharing what you just, that was a good scenario for me because that's one of the realest things that happen when people go in a certain way and you come out another way and people start treating you different.
Yes.
I was just sharing, I don't know how much you heard what I was talking about. Um, I have, do you read music?
Yes.
Okay. So I play 5 different instruments
Mm.
and I can't read a note. And I've struggled and I've tried and I can't get it, Nate. But if you show me a song or play it, I can copy, I could do it.
Oh,
But if you gave me the sheet music, I'm done. So my being wired different, that I couldn't comprehend that like that. I told my mother at an early age, it's something about seeing it on paper I can't relate. I really couldn't relate to it.
Because music
And
music is expression of the soul, and when you see it on paper, it's sort of locking you in and putting borders on your creativity or expression. Whereas when you hear it, you can flow with it, and you're going to know what direction everything goes and how fast and slow it goes too.
well, it took me all of my adult life to accept that I was wired different, because I couldn't play in the Navy band. I couldn't, because I couldn't read music.
They didn't even let me audition, and when they let me audition, it was crazy. I sight read music, I played scales, talked to him, and he said, "Do you play clarinet?" I said no, and he said, "Well, I can't let you in the band," and that was it.
Wow. Yeah, so I'm encouraging people tonight, because you have a difference, or because there's something that's someone might consider you abnormal. Start telling yourself that I am normal. I'm just different.
Yes.
It's the anxiety will go down. The you won't feel as bad about yourself, because you got to encourage yourself. But when I was young, I didn't know to encourage myself. When people say they would choose someone else over me to play, that wasn't, I didn't know how to encourage myself. That hurted. So that hurt caused me to not like music a lot. It caused me to shrink back. It caused me to hope people wouldn't call upon me, because I couldn't do it like the next person. So that comparison and competing, it really messed up my life. But God gave me another chance to talk to others, that they won't feel, find another way. There is another way to go about getting the same job done. You might have to do something a little different. I had to study a lot, Nate, and to play that one chord that somebody just looked at the notes and got it. I had to, do something different. But I was able to join the band in the Iceland, and they accepted who I was. Like, we had to stay at rehearsal probably another hour or two for me to get the licks and stuff that I needed to do on the guitar. But I surrounded myself with people who would help me. So I'm telling people, no matter what your disability is, no matter what your shortcomings is, you can still make it in life. You just have to accept who you are, that you're wired different, and move on.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I have my niece. I don't know how long you're gonna stay, but whenever you're ready to go. But I have my niece here, Kenya. Are you there, Kenya?
Yeah, I'm here, Auntie.
Yeah. What you got to
Uh,
tell me? What's your points?
I was here listening with my mom, and I just thought it was interesting because I guess I'm in a point now in so many different spaces. I felt like I'm trying to like where my differences fit in, where they're needed, and things even down to like it might not even be about a skill you have. It might be like your relationship with God. Like I know for me, it was weird trying to figure out how my relationship with God is different my mom's or my aunt's relationship and trying to make myself understand that even though they're different, they're all beautiful and intricate and layered in a way that makes them all um, unique and special. And yeah,
That
I
is
just thought
that
this
is
was
wow.
interesting, but also in a point that it doesn't always have to
You,
be
Kenya,
applied
you're going out a little bit.
phenomenon.
Just say that
It's like
last
a
part again?
tangible.
Could you hear me?
I just thought it was interesting. Always have to.
I think that she probably got a bad reception. You're going in and out, Kenya. I can't hear. Well,
Can you hear me?
yeah, you're low. I didn't hear. It was going in and out like a bad reception.
got me now, though.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, that's all it was. Just it's just I thought it was interesting that it doesn't always have to be about tangible differences or differences in the way of skill or art or hobbies, but it can also be applied to just if anybody's listening doesn't know what their relationship with God should be or how that plays a role.
Mhm. So that comparing and competing is a lot of people does that a lot, like try to fit in because of who's around you or who you're trying to compare yourself with. And if that's hard for
Exactly.
you to, okay. So that's a good point right there. And I'm trying to let people know that you are unique own in your own rights. Everybody is unique in their own rights, but you won't know that if you don't surround yourself with people or you come to that realization that uh I'm just different but I'm still unique. And what I have to offer is just as good. I don't have to compete or compare with nobody. I'm wired different, and I accept who I am. Do that make sense? What I'm saying?
Definitely does.
Yeah. Hey, Elaine, Auntie. I'm trying to Nate. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to work this system here. I'm by myself, but I'm y'all bear with me. But thank you all for coming on just to share. Uh, I was really touched by this week, speaking about this. I didn't realize so many people felt inadequate of in who they are because they was comparing themselves to others, and that's a powerful thing when you don't know who you are and others make you. I come from bullying when I was younger, and I know that feeling of trying to please others, try to fit in because I didn't feel like I was um, like them and trying to be like others, and that can wear on the people a lot. So um, touchy topic, and it can happen in any form. I didn't realize how many people leave people over. Like there's plenty of divorces. There's plenty of people committing suicide. I mean, it's a heavy topic of because you think that you're abnormal, that you can't deal with it. Instead of celebrating who you are, you put yourself down, you walk low, you have low self-esteem. It creates a monster. But if we don't speak to it and give a voice to it, it keep on going. So I'm celebrating my different. Rather I read a note in my life, I celebrate God gave me an ear to hear music.
Yes.
Take it and make it a positive, whatever that is. I might not can sing and pray like my mom used to be, but you know what? I thank God I'm in church. If that's all I can do, that's what I said. I'm not trying to be her. I'm not trying to be the next person. I only can give you me, but I can give you the best of me and be okay with who you are. I was showing a picture earlier. I got 6 siblings. We all different. We come from the same parents, but we are all different. And if you keep comparing yourself or try to be like, you know, who they are and they try to be like who I am, you can't do that. Accept your weaknesses, accept your strength, and we just ride on each other backs, where you weak at, you use my strength. Where I'm weak at, I use your strength, and we go ahead. But if you don't know to do that, lot of people is falling down right now because of comparing. I don't want to be compared. I don't want to be compared. I'm not that. And that kept me down for years in my life. So I'm celebrating better. I'm getting better at being okay with who I am. I had to learn to read through people reading to me. And what I mean, I do thank God for ebooks, thank God for all these things. I'm celebrating that God saw me and knew that I needed that tool. So I'll take a book, I'll still read along with it, but the person is reading to me. If that's the way you have to learn, be okay with that. Be okay with who you are. Just don't stop and lay down and don't do nothing. But whatever way you can do it, if it's on the job training, if it's by somebody showing you, whatever that is, be okay. I'm not a school person. I told this many years. What I mean, I it's not that I don't want to go to school. It's not that I didn't want to further my education. It wasn't that. I knew I couldn't do it. And at that time, if I knew what they had now, all the tools that they have now, I probably could have did it. But back then I didn't know all these I didn't know nothing about Google. I didn't know nothing about YouTube, how you could just almost pull up anything and you can learn or they can train you because that would have helped me. But if I had to do it the way I knew I had to do it, I would have been a failure, and that would have been worse than not already didn't know how to do it and then fail. I didn't want both of them, so I did the best I could how I did it. But I'm telling people there are ways. Accept who you are. Don't compare. Don't compete, and live your life. And someone will be there to help you because God got people standing in place. Amen. Is that all right?
Amen.
Right.
All right.
Well, Nate and Denise and Kenya, and I saw Auntie, but Elaine said something happened. I probably clicked her off, but I saw Greg Boston. I saw you, and I'm sorry, sir, but this is a new thing I'm learning how to do. But I want to thank everybody who stopped by, and hopefully you got something out of it, and that we can move on and be the people that God called us to be, and if anybody have anything else to say, let me know. And if not, we're gonna close this out and until next Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday at 6:30, and we just have a topic, and then we can have just come up and share with each other. It's not like I'm an expert. I tell people that all the time. I'm not an expert at nothing, but I experienced a lot. So I just share my experiences and things that I learned along the way, and I gleaned from a lot of people. And I'm thanking God for all the people that He put in my life.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Denise, Kenya, do y'all have anything else to say? Nate, do you have anything else to say before we sign off?
No, thank you, and I like this your platform. I appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming, sir, and thank you for the texts and the keeping up with me. I appreciate you. All right.
You're welcome. Yes,
Nisi and Kenya, I love you to death. And thank you very much for sharing what you shared tonight. And don't be a stranger. We hear whatever you can come in on some of these topics. And let's share together so we can grow together, right?
yes.
Is
Yes,
it raw?
definitely will be on more often. Thank you.
Okay. So this podcast is called Raw.
Mhm.
And let me tell you why it's called Raw, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. It's called Raw because I'm not going to hold back anything, and we're going to tell the truth, and we're going to help each other. And it stemmed from the way I came up, and I'm not complaining about the way I love my mother to death. I love my father to death. I had a good life. But what I noticed that we shunned a lot of the truth. And I'm learning that telling the truth will make you free.
All right, all right.
So I was bound a lot because someone hid the truth from me, didn't want to tell me the truth, or they didn't know it. So the more that we share with each other and learn, we can help each other. So that's why this podcast was birthed. It was birthed and I said, when I get old, I'm going to tell someone what wasn't told to me. And no matter how it sounds, And some of these topics are rough, but it was answers that I wish I had. There's a lot of mistakes I made that I wouldn't have made if I had someone walking beside me and tell me. So that's my vow to God, and that's my vow to the people. I don't know everything, but I'm willing to share, and I know there's resources out there to help us. Just like somebody helped me through the things that I went through, there's God got someone for you. So only thing that we got to do is speak up. Don't be ashamed. Don't let nobody make you ashamed. Encourage yourself and walk, because when you come out on the other side, someone else is going to be following you. Somebody's always watching you. You never know whose safety and who deliverance you have. They might not never tell you, you might not never see them, but somebody's always watching. So that's my oath, that's my vow, and that's who I am. I'm Jackie H,
Mm.
and this is the Raw Podcast. And until next week, maybe my co-host, she'll be back. She out in the middle of the ocean right now. She takes like 30 vacations a month. No, I'm just saying. Gail Barron, the judge, she's out with on a couples cruise. But we need all of it. We need the getaways, we need the cruises, we need the vacations, we need the sleep, everything that you need to make this life what it is. Because life really be life, okay? So until next time, as I always say in this podcast, love God, love family, work hard, and be kind. And until next week, I'll talk to you all later. I'll see you, Nate. See you, Nisi. See you, Kenya. See you,
Yeah.
everybody.